And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. We are in Aerofly Fs2 and this time with the Eurocopter EC-135 T1 helicopter. And we are in Lukla. Extremely nice terrain, scenery. I love the detail in this and such an amazing area to fly around. And I choose the EC-135. I can fly around with the R22, it is possible, but Lukla is very much on the altitude limit of where you can go with the R22 and take off and land safely. I believe you can go to the Seongbochi airstrip, which is up the valley, but let's take the EC-135, a bit more performance available, and let's fly. So trying to achieve over here, and there we are. So let's just take it backwards a bit. Mind the loss of the ground effect again as we... There it is. That's a bastard, isn't it? Well, we saved the helicopter. Did not crash into the wall. And I came to Nepal to do the Everest base camp track, or the circuit rather, the Gokyo lakes included, and the passes that are crossed on that track. Highly recommendable, such a beautiful track to do, and of course, if you're a flight sim enthusiast, coming to Lukla is the best start of any travel. Honestly, such an amazing thing to do. And I flew here in 2008, and very shortly after the sad crash of that Twin Otter that underrun the runway in cloudy circumstances. And as we approached the runway, I was so busy filming everything, and I could see the wreckage of that plane, but I was so focused on filming that I even forgot to buckle up. I mean, do not try that in real life, honestly. It's that was not a safe situation, but fortunately the pilot was good and it was a super smooth landing on this runway. And you don't even feel that much G-forces when you brake, because the runway goes uphill so much. Just the aircraft reduces speed all by itself, and no problem at all. And yeah, just brilliant. I mean, if you're a mountain fan and a flight simulator fan, this is you're gonna enjoy this so much. And then walking through Lukla as you leave for the track itself, it's just such a brilliant experience. So let's go and fly up the valley. Advance the power to full, just staying outside of the yellow zone there. I believe the yellow marker on the FLI, first limit indicator, I believe that is called. You can run in that yellow band for 5 minutes. That's sort of the takeoff power setting, but not the continuous maximum power setting. And then as you go past the 10, you see the OEI, which is one engine inoperative. So then with the one engine available, you can run in that regime. But I guess in normal operations you do not get in that range. So I try not to, but with this helicopter you will have to if you try to land at the Everest base camp. which is kind of sad. I would love to see a helicopter, an official release of a helicopter that can indeed land there. So let me just start to set some settings for the autopilot. Gonna be lazy now. So I guess I will set our indicated airspeed and perhaps a heading. There we go. And from there we'll just cruise up the valley. That's the easy part of the EC-135, really, that you can just fly in autopilot, take some workload away. There's times when I like to work hard and keep the helicopter in check. That's very much where the R22 comes in. But if you just want to relax, sit back and enjoy a nice flight, nice scenery, take the EC-135, switch the autopilot on, and you are good. So as we approach the end of the valley, not really the end of the valley, but there we have, in sort of a comb. Man, I even forgot the town's name. That's bad. But the Seongbochi airstrip, just above that. And we can indeed fly the EC-135 there nicely. So I guess I'll disengage the autopilot now and re-engage it, just because of the automation that comes with it in kind of manual flight. And the town is Namche Bazaar, by the way, Namche Bazaar. And at the time I was there, I didn't even realize there was an airstrip just above that. And as you do the trek, you stay a couple of nights in that town to acclimatize. And the first day we walked up, and I suddenly found myself on this very airstrip as you cross it and climb up to the Everest View Hotel, which is the first time you get your views on Mount Everest. Just there in the distance, almost hidden in the clouds, very much as it was at the time that I got there. And I'm gonna have to run some high power settings here. So probably in real life the engines will not have liked this very much. But there we have it, Seongbochi airstrip. It's big time fun to fly here with a turboprop King Air. For example, it's a realistic bird that could, I guess it could indeed land here, but having an airplane like the de Havilland Twin Otter would be great, as it is the workhorse of the mountains in the fixed wing department. Of course, there's also the Pilatus PC-6, possibly even better, but a bit smaller. So I'm just gonna run in the yellow, and as we continue, the Everest Hotel, I believe, should be here. And further down the line, the Everest Museum, where a helicopter wreckage sits. And lovely views of Mount Everest and Amadablam. Then just down there, the town of Kunde, if I recall that correctly. And all the lines of the track visible. I don't really have a specific plan with this flight, but I suppose we could do the circuit. So go, and the track itself just clings to the left side of the valley. I believe on this little shoulder here there is a place where you sleep, and then you descend all the way. I believe you cross this river a couple of times. Not 100% sure anymore. It's been quite a while ago now. But I believe eventually you get to the left side of this valley again and find yourself walking into the direction of Gokyo, which is the 6th tallest mountain in the world. That snowy mountain top in the distance. And in these small side valleys there is a few places where you stop to sleep. I do believe I should reduce my power setting now, because I don't think the engines will be my friend anymore if I run it too long, too high power. But as we progress, I think we will be forced to run it into the higher regimes. Now, over here we have a few towns, and we stopped to sleep in the next valley that is over here. See a few little houses. And for the fun of it, we walked up this ridge for a little bit. And I think, as the track leader had an altitude watch, this is where I reached the same altitude of the Mont Blanc summit. So that was the first time that I reached the high point, perhaps crossed the high points of the European Alps, which was a great experience. And then in the back, I'm not sure if we will be able to see it right now, but Mount Everest just peaked above. I think we have it there. Lovely. And it just felt like a win. Great to achieve that. There we have it, fairly high power setting. And then we come to the, what is it called, the Ngozumba Glacier, I believe. And just as we fly, the circuit continues over in that direction into this side valley. Then you cross towards a pass that you have to cross. So you've crossed the glacier about over in this area, and super pretty scenes. I think it's the first time you set foot actually on a glacier during this trek. But first you continue straight, as you have a bunch of these lakes down below, and the third lake there is situated at the base of, what is it called, the Gokyo. That is this nice hill over here. And quite high altitude. It's the first time you climb in the trek above 5,000 meters. What's that gonna be, like 15,000 feet or so? I don't know. According to my altimeter, it's gonna be a little higher in feet, but I believe the summit is 5,300 meters. And so the town of Gokyo, over there, you can do a walk all the way around the lake, and it is such an amazingly pretty area to walk. Incredible. And unfortunately I got a little ill, I guess light form of altitude sickness. So the first day, which was the better day, people already got up the Gokyo. I did not manage. I got about halfway, and then I really had to decide, like, look, if you want to survive the rest of the trek, perhaps it's best to leave it at that. But the next day I got up and all was fine. And as the glacier progresses on our left hand side, perhaps we can take our view to the left hand side for the moment. And we have the fourth Gokyo lake over there. And so after I got up to the Gokyo Ri, I continued and did a round. No, we did not do a round around the lake, but we got to the base of it. Lovely views. So let's turn back now and continue. The official circuit of the track. I can increase my power setting a bit here. And I'm sure there's also some serious limits on what we can do for indicated airspeed at these altitudes. I'm not really following the rules here. I don't know what the VNE limits are. But it's a sim, and in order to get where we need to be, I'll have to run it at high power settings anyway. So there we go, and we'll turn left. And this crossing, it's one day, so you start at the town down below, and very early in the morning we wake up and trek on the left side of this ridge that we have on the right hand side, so basically trekking that valley upstream, uphill. And I guess I can take my feet off the pedals here, no need for that. And let me find the pass, if I recognize the terrain properly. We're gonna be on the right hand side. It's gonna be a little sketchier with the clouds. That's trouble. But we will need to cross that, so I hope I hope the clouds will allow us to do so. But yeah. So let me just set my heading indicator so I have that reference, and the base of the pass down below. Yeah, I think I can see it now. And this is such a steep climb, such an incredibly steep climb. So as you fly or as you walk, you trek up this pass. What is it called again? I don't recall. Shola Pass it is, and it is so steep, and again 5300 meters or so. Now I am gonna have to run a higher power in order to make it up here, but so much accomplishment when you get up here, so beautiful. And then you just walk all the way down again. Still in one day you trekked on this glacier. And an excellent view on Amadablam in the distance there. Beautiful mountain. And as this trek proceeds, still in one day you descend all the way down until about over there, those few houses over there. So it's a very long day indeed. But I guess that's alright. It's a beautiful day. And in the evening I took the camera that I had with me at the time and shot a fisheye picture of that area, with the mountains in the back and the Milky Way rising straight up. That was pretty. Unfortunately, I was not aware of image stacking and achieving much better result doing so. So the end result is quite a noisy image, but I was happy to have it. I think it was my first decent, half-decent picture of the Milky Way. And as we proceed, I believe down here will be the Everest Memorial. So lots of Jordan, stacks of stones. And as the trek proceeds, you cross a small pass and turn to the left onto the Khumbu Glacier that reaches to Mount Everest and Pumori. So Pumori, the steep peak over there, and we have Nuptse, the ridge of Nuptse over there on our right hand side. And what's this town again? It's not here yet. I think it's, yeah, it's one ahead. I forgot the name, but that will be the high point of the trek for sleeping. So you sleep at 5,100 meters. But by this time, if your condition was holding up, you'll be nicely acclimatized, and sleeping will not be much of a problem anymore. I mean, by this time you're like 1.5 weeks into the trek, perhaps almost 2. I guess you will be nearing two weeks of trekking. I don't know. But such excellent terrain. And then as you continue the trek, in fact I believe we started one village in the back, and then as you continue very early in the morning again, long trek, approach what's this baby again? Kalapathar, literally means literally black mountain or black stone, I believe, and I guess you could see why. A very dark peak at the base of Pumori, which is the high point of the trek at 5,500 meters, and a great view actually. I think for the Nepali area, that's about the best view that you get at some close proximity to Mount Everest. And while I was there, I recorded this brilliant avalanche. Let me see if I can show you that. That was dropping down from that wall, and it was such a hefty view, that incredible. I'm just gonna run at maximum power here, which has its effects on the yaw, but I'm just gonna need to run at full power in order to get to the summit of this. And the sense of accomplishment was so good to reach up here early in the morning and have that view on Mount Everest and the Khumbu Icefall, the base camp area. Absolutely gorgeous that. And now, in order to fly a helicopter in this area realistically, we would require an Airbus H125 or the Eurocopter AS350B3 A-Star, or perhaps even the Twin Star. Those are the powerhouses of the mountains, the workhorses, and I would love to have a helicopter like that in order to be able to realistically fly around in this area. So 18,000 feet is about where we get, and let's take it to the base camp. Now, in fact, What was I gonna say? I forgot. Yeah, in fact, there's a community add-on, the Augusta Westland Lynx helicopter, and that in the sim has sufficient power available to get all the way up to the Khumbu Icefall and into the Western Cone. So that will be around the corner, up the glacier and into that valley, also referred to as the Valley of Silence. And that's brilliant. So it's great to have that helicopter there, but as far as I could find specifications of that helicopter, real life specifications, it would not have been able to get up there and land and get away again. So all the tents of the base camp, busy area. And that's quite realistic. This is a very busy place in real life as well during the climbing season. So let's see if we can find ourselves a half decent landing spot, perhaps close to a couple of tents. And again, I'm gonna have to over torque the engines big time in order to be able to land and get away again. So I think we can take it down here. There we have the ground effect, and it's gonna be bumpy as the ground is bumpy. See if I can just get it forward a little bit, and this should be about good. Now, since I have to over torque so much, I do get some yaw effects when operating the collective. But there we are, in the Everest base camp. And I believe it was 15 perhaps, when an avalanche coming from Pumori, that is there behind the helicopter, wreaked havoc in the base camp. Terrible, terrible event. After a massive earthquake in the Annapurna range, that area, and yeah, it claimed a lot of lives. Terrible event. But now, I believe, we will have seen a very calm year in this area because of the situation of the world we are in right now, with the virus going around. But fortunately we have Aerofly Fs2 and some nice helicopters, and we can still visit all these places, these magnificent places in the world, in a simulator. So, I think we can start to go back now. Again, I will have to run, of course, super high power to get away. Really running at all maximum power. Oh my. Don't suppose we're supposed to do this in real life with this helicopter. But from here, it's literally all downhill. And then these glaciers are large, but as you come to Pakistan and the K2 area, you will find some glaciers that are easily twice the size. Incredible rivers of ice over there. And I should in fact check to try to get that satellite images into the Aerofly Fs2 world, so I will be able to enjoy a flight in that area. Where do we need to go? Continue to the left towards Ahmed Ablam, and then I remember from the track, after being in the moon landscape for such a long time, trekking on sort of a greenish hillside, easy downhill walking, no technical walking whatsoever. It was so pretty. I enjoyed that so much. Wonderful, wonderful. And coming over the town of Dingbochi. I think we slept there. Really, from the base camp, it's like a 3 or 4 day hike back to Lukla. Quick effort, no more acclimatization necessary. Because at some point you have to cross the river, don't you? And then at a later stage we cross back to the left, but momentarily we stay on the right side of the valley. As you can see, the paths running there. As you come down, cross an exciting bridge to get up to Tengbochi. And as we did the trek, as we approached Tengbochi, which is of course a place where you sleep, the town itself was full of the lodges, so we had to sleep a bit early, a little bit before this place. And let me just take it around here a little bit. Let's go to this view. And I remember when we were here, we attended a service in the monastery. And while we did that, it turned evening, and as we got out of the monastery, there were no clouds. It was very much like this. Perfect clear view on Everest and Nuptse, Lhotse, and I realized I did not have a tripod with me, so I ran down this hill, and look at the altitude, we're still quite high up. I literally ran downhill to the place where we were sleeping, which is gonna be like, I think, this area, and I literally ran back up as fast as I could to get back to that perfect view. And it's just, I think that's the maximum acclimatization that I've reached in my entire life. I was so fast up and down, or down and up really, it's just incredible. And I lingered with the tour guide and took some lovely photos and videos of that sunset, and we walked back in the darkness to our lodge. Excellent memories, and that's also what I appreciate about Aerofly Fs2, that it can be such a nice trip down memory lane, remembering all these lovely details and achievements perhaps. So after you get down from Tengbochi, you will see a bridge there, and you come back on known terrain. This is where you finish the circuit and get back on in areas that you've walked before. Mind my airspeed here. Staying out of the VNE line, but I'm sure we're going way too fast for the altitude that we're at. Not sure what the outside air temperature is. Do we have that information somewhere? I'm sure it's somewhere, but I don't know where. Either way, the valley towards Lukla and the Xiangbochi airstrip will be in our back, and ourselves turning now and coming to the valley to come back to Lukla to finish our trek in a helicopter. And I never really planned this flight, I just did it here and now. I guess if I read my diary off the track, I could tell you a lot more details about it, but if you appreciate mountain scenery, and especially if you appreciate that in aviation, definitely come here. It's gonna be a busy track though, it's highly touristic, and though it does some good for the economy of the region, yeah, maybe it's a little bit over touristic. Now, of course, it's a bit, I'm saying that while I was a tourist here, so yeah, there's that. But definitely, I mean, you do get to see some quite amazing stuff. And the river down below, the Dudkosh River, meaning so much as milk river, I suppose. And makes sense, it's very much a white colored river. All the minerals coming from the glacier and the ground rock. As we are about at the altitude of the Lukla airstrip. And I guess we can start to slow down a little bit. It's not as easy to slow this helicopter down compared to the R-22, so a bit more attention required. On the edge here for what we can do for our deceleration and descent, but I think we're good. And just enjoying a little hover here, as we have a platform on our left hand side. I believe that's one of the possible starting points in the sim for the scenery. For now, let's continue up to the actual platform. and have a look at the highly advanced luggage system. I'm saying that as I am a technician at Schiphol Airport, Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, where I do maintain the luggage system there. So nice to see this little system here. And as we proceed, let's take it left a little bit. Tenzing Hillary Airport. I got the biography of Sir Edmund Hillary. It's a great book, great read. I recommend it. And so that's that. Lukla and Mount Everest. Let's take it back to that little platform. Just some fun of landing there. Just look at all that detail in the foliage. All the bushes, it's so nice, so detailed. And still running quite smoothly. I love it. So mind the ground effect again. There it is. And that will do, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that flight and a little bit of background information on the Everest Gokyo circuit. And see you another day.